Welcome back to the Duo's Corner, and today is solo dolo because I really want to get into the SummerSlam. This SummerSlam was very eventful. A lot for the wrong reasons. There were good things. If you want to hear the review of Night 2, please check it right here. It should be jumping up somewhere at the left or right hand corner. But we got to just jump into what the fuck is kind of going on, okay? And I can only give it to you from my perspective. I'm going to combine the Raw review into this as well because it all kind of coincides, if that makes sense. SummerSlam is known as the biggest party of the summer. No secret, okay? Biggest party of the summer. This one was not. This was not the biggest party of the summer. This was the party of the mid. Lots of confusing decisions. The directions are bad. And I know it's really easy to just bury Triple H and say, what the fuck is he doing? But I really had to think about it. Triple H is trying to rectify all of the fuck ups from The Rock, Dwayne Johnson. A lot of these things, Dwayne, because he doesn't want to go by the Rock moniker, excuse me. These were his decisions. The whole Cena thing, the entire Cena thing was The Rock. Well, it wasn't The Rock. He collaborated with it, and he was going to be the spark plug to it, which he was, but then he disappeared. So over the last couple months, it was kind of bad because there was no direction. I mean, Cena can go out there and do anything. He's Cena. But for the story to really work, you needed The Rock there, and he wasn't there. And when we get into that point of the match between him and Cody, we'll deliberate a little more. But let's just talk about night two, excuse me. So the show opens up with Naomi versus Rhea Ripley versus Io Sky. This is by far probably the best match of the weekend. Hands down. Hands down. Naomi comes out with her dad playing guitar to a theme, which is always awesome. It was really funny because she was like so proud of the moment she had to get back in character. This was a great match. These three have incredible chemistry. Naomi is absolutely phenomenal. Her title reign is great. This one is the best. TNA did wonders for her. And one of the things that sticks out with all three of these women, typically when man or women, when they win a title, it's good, but then it always kind of breaks down as the same. It feels the same. There's nothing different. There's nothing unique about it. But this reign of hers feels great. It feels authentic. It feels amazing. It feels just beautiful. It's different. It's refreshing. So Rhea and Sky initially makes the uneasy alliance, trying to tag on Naomi. Naomi weathers the storm. Sky hits a missile drop kick into a 619 combination. That really stunned Naomi. There was great hits, great movements. There was near falls. Capitalizing on Rhea Ripley and Sky's miscommunication to sneak in a pin for the win. This is the best possible finish. It keeps everybody strong. It makes Naomi look like the calculating, sneaky heel. Just beautiful. A great way to start the show. Great decision because I thought they were going to go the way of the tag match, but the TLC match. But this was perfect. This was beautiful, and at this point, it gave me a lot of high hopes of what was going to happen here. After that, we move into the tag team TLC match, the Wyatt Sick versus the multiple teams of DIY, Street Profits, Motor City Machine Guns, Andrade and Rey Fenix, and Fraxium. Anytime a TLC happens, the crowd is automatically expecting what crazy spots are we going to see, what are going to be the moments, what are going to be the clickbait moments, and there were plenty in this match. Whether if it was Rey Fenix doing a 5-star frog splash onto a table, or the other gentleman with the mask and fracks him doing the Spanish fly to Dawkins through a table, which looked devastating, and I'm hearing reports he could possibly be injured. I hope he's okay. The absolute incredible core strength of Tommaso Ciampa dodging the spear, absolutely phenomenal. But it was overall, it was just really a spot fest. Not a lot of storytelling, and I think that was the magic between the Hardys, the Dudleys, Edge and Christian back in the day. They still told a great story amidst these crazy spots. Um, MVP of this match and probably of the year was Candice LeRae taking a ridiculous bump off the ladder onto another ladder that broke legitimately in half. She looked like she was dead. I mean, holy shit. I just didn't think she would take a bump like that. She has to be 105 pounds soaking wet. I hope to God she's okay. It looked absolutely gnarly. Moving along, we had Becky Lynch versus Lyra, which was probably the second best match of the whole 2 nights. No disqualification, so meaning anything goes. They got very creative with chair spots, fucking crowbars, kendo sticks, very physical zip ties, absolutely crazy. Bailey shows up, which I had a feeling was gonna happen. You didn't know what she was doing. There was a spot where Lyra was kind of caught up in the chair. It looked like Becky's for the killer. Becky stopped her, and she's telling Bailey, hey, take care of this. I fucked you up here, but she fucked you up last time. Make the move. And then, Bailey went babyface, attacked Becky. They got to fighting about it. And then the finish lined up to where Bailey unfortunately hit Lyra to knock her into the manhandle slam, and Becky retains, meaning that Lyra can no longer challenge for the Intercontinental Championship as long as Becky Lynch is the champion. So this is pretty damn good. This is pretty good. This is very interesting here. Where do Lyra go? I'm mad that Lyra's kind of out of the title picture. I felt like she did a great job. She's an amazing worker. She deserves a lot more. I mean, if this is to put her into the main event picture, I'm totally for it. Let's go. Going forward is the Solo Sikoa versus Jacob Fatu for the United States title. If you hear this, if you hear my tone in my voice, you can just tell how mid this was. This was trash. I can't put it any other way. There's not too much to say about this. You knew his group was going to interfere. Jimmy was going to interfere. Bottom line is Jacob needed to get some people. I thought this would have been an opportunity that we would have possibly saw Zilla Fatu come in to help even the odds with Jimmy and Jacob, but that didn't happen. The only highlight was Jacob did a moonsault from the top of the cage, and that's about it. It's really not too much to say about that. Very disappointing. We had Dominic Mysterio versus AJ Styles for the Intercontinental title. Yes, a lot of nostalgia with the outfits and coming out in lowriders. The match was very mid. It really wasn't too much to say about it. Dominic Mysterio did the classic boot, unzipping of the boot that Eddie did against Kurt Angle to win the title. To retain the title at WrestleMania 20. And that was pretty much it. Just showed that, Dirty Dom would lie, cheat, and steal. Again, not too much to say. It really wasn't too many things that really jumped out in this match. Then we go to the main event. We had John Cena versus Cody Rhodes, street fight. Here's where we better get into some meat and potatoes. So we knew on SmackDown, John Cena pretty much rectified this entire fucking run of his that it was trash, it was stupid, and if I'm going to go out as John Cena the way he probably should have went the first place. Turning him heel with no stakes was the dumbest idea they could do. And I feel personally that Cena probably just went to them and said, hey, this shit ain't working. I'm going back face for the rest of my time. And it was absolutely beautiful. It's right decision. This was a great match. This is Cena's best match since this last run. He pulled out every stop he physically can do. It was very good, very great. He was just, this is the Cena we want to see towards the end. Cody won. Like it or not, that's the right decision. And the fact that he won babyface after me thinking about it was the right decision. Cody is the face. Cody is the next guy, and you have to submit him that way. And how he did it was passing of the torch of Hulk Hogan, the Ultimate Warrior, or The Rock to John Cena. This was the right decision. There was great spots in here. Cena's pulling out AAs, doing Canadian Destroyers. There was a sequence where they fought underneath the ramp and he came up through the elevator and he has Cody on his shoulders. A great visual that will be saw for years to come. Absolutely phenomenal. But then after the fact, Brock Lesnar returns. I'm not going to talk too much more about it until we know what really happened and what brought him back, because we know the allegations. We know everything that's going on. And he just comes in, he F5 Cena. So, okay, what the hell? I don't know. Again, great spot. Great, clickbait type of shit. And yeah, that was pretty much it. One of the things that kind of bothers me a little bit with this SummerSlam, it really had nothing to do with the actual storytelling. This had a lot to do with just, let's get as many views, let's get as many shock moments as we can, and which they did. If that was the aim of last weekend, they delivered. But of any storytelling aspects of it, it just didn't hit. So this, to me, if I really had to sum up the SummerSlam as a whole, this was just killing all of them stupid ass storylines that didn't work. And we also know that they were riddled with injury. There was a lot of other aspects of things going on that were out of their control, but a lot of it was just bad storytelling. And when we go to Raw, which we're about to jump into right now, this seems like a completely fresh fucking start. Like SummerSlam was like a bookmark, and then for the start fresh on Monday Night Raw. So now we'll jump to Monday Night Raw, and this was overall not a bad show. It wasn't. It wasn't a great show, but it wasn't a bad show. So the show starts off with Seth Rollins, of course, coming out there talking shizzle. Flanked by his team of Paul Fatty, Braun Breaker, and Bronson Reed. The newly found faction called Division. Horrible name. Rollins did the same thing, mocking the fans, talking shit, and reveals he always have a plan B, bop, 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 bop. And the only people he told about it was Becky Lynch, of course, his wife, and Paul Fatty. Everybody else was in the woods. So LA Knight comes out, which is great because people were saying, did LA Knight quit? Is he pissed off? What the fuck's going on? Where's LA Knight? He basically said, hey, bro, you ain't shit for faking an injury, but hey, let's don't get it twisted. I beat you. That puts me first in there. Now, typically, you got to wait. They do, Seth did the, well, you want to see it? You want to see it? Well, no, not tonight. Not tonight, brother. We're going to catch you on the next one. But then Adam Pearce come out and say, you know what? Typically, we need to promote, but fuck all the dumb shit. You lied to me. You lied to the people. That match happened tonight. And then he also, to raise the stakes, he says Breaker and Reed is banned from ringside, which is like, okay, interesting. Even though as a wrestling fan, something's going to happen. Like, he's not dropping the belt. Somebody's going to run out, Punk, most likely. But we got a couple more surprises as we get through it. So the first match was Sheamus versus Rusev. This was a match that should have been on SummerSlam. These guys are amazing. These guys have amazing chemistry. I want to see them fight forever. Very physical. They're just beating the shit out of each other. They're exchanging the beats of the Bowery. They just kicking ass, table slams. They ended up fighting all the way to it ended up being a disqualification count out. So then there's a crazy pull apart, and then I liked it all through the night through other people's segments. They're just beating each other's ass. Ended up running into Sami Zayn, and now Sami Zayn's involved, and now he wants to fight about it, which sets up a match for next week, Sami Zayn versus Rusev. I kind of like this. I really like this because now you're creating other stories that are really interesting. the mid card matters. I mean, the main event is going to be the main event, but the mid card matters. And this is what I feel like this show did. Now, moving into match 2, you had the New Day out there with the ridiculous outfits. Fucking Xavier Woods had this Kun Lao style type of hat, and they're still in mourning because they lost the tag title. So Grayson Waller is trying to get in the good graces of the New Day. He's trying to join the group. So they're kind of fucking with him, whatever, kind of just using him for the sake of using him. So they say, I'm going to go up and talk to Adam Pearce, try to get you guys a tag match, get your tag titles back. So he interrupts Adam Pearce talking to Penta. And, he's like, oh, yeah, blah, blah, blah. New Day needs to get a belt. Boo, 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 boo. So Adam Pearce gets pissed off and say, you know what? You want to have a match so bad, you're going to fight Penta right now. Adam Pearce was on one tonight. I don't know what was going on, but he was for none of it. So the match between Grayson Waller and Penta was absolutely fucking phenomenal. This was great. I mean, Grayson Waller can wrestle. And he reminded you that he's wrestled. I mean, they put... And Austin Theory's cold, too. And like I said, it really showcased what Waller can do. These guys were kicking each other. It was hard hit. It was very athletic. Penta hit a clean Mexican Destroyer off the top rope. Looked devastating. The New Day comes in talking shit. They get to fighting about it. But Penta, overcame all of it. Took Woods' head and threw it very Kun Lao style back at him, then hit a splash on him and did his little dance. Great. The show was really, to me, was cooking on all cylinders. So then we saw that Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair was coming down Raw to kind of just, tease, like, hey, we friends, we not friends. You know the story, really putting Flair over. Flair kind of still trying to be like she don't care, but she does, which I love this for Charlotte Flair. This is a really good light to see her in. So the Judgment Day come out, they're talking shit. And then you know what? Adam Pearce said, fuck it. He's feeling it. We better have the match right now. Run it back. This was a great match. Perez looked great in this match. Raquel Rodriguez is really fighting like a big woman. She's using her size. She's really getting back to the form to where she was before she had that illness. She looked great here. They looked great in defeat. But once again, the teamwork made it. Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair retained. Good match. Bliss hit the Sister Abigail and Perez. Beautiful. Absolutely phenomenal. I loved this. Then we had the backstage. There was a lot of backstage. So first off, we got to talk about Bayley running down there looking like she lost her mom, looking for Lyra. Runs into her. Lyra just said, look, bro, I don't want to fuck with you. I don't want to fuck with nobody right now. You cost me a match. I cost you a match. We even go that way. Which, to me, was a really good statement from Lyra. I'm finna do some other shit. Just stay the fuck away from me. So Bayley kind of got the boo-boo face as that segment went. Now, you got Becky Lynch got to come out there. She got to talk her shit with a horrible new theme. And, she talking this shit. I'm the best. Woo, woo, woo. But she said, hey, here's an open challenge. Who want to catch this fade next? Come on out here right now. And then of all fucking people to answer, Nikki Bella do. And I'm like, what the fuck? And this is why I knew at this point, okay, here come TKO. Two big names, money, blah, 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 blah. So they take jabs at the movie and legacy. And, and she, Nikki was like, oh, you chased me when I was on top. Woo. And crazy thing was, Nikki called out Seth for being a liar. And then Becky's like, hey, don't talk about my man. We the most powerful, wonderful couple in the WWE. Hey, once upon a time you was, but then, the classic, because, her and John Cena was fucking blah, 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 blah. And she's like, you can't see him no more. Great line. The crowd popped for it. So it says, and then she sucker punched her to, to get the fuck on out. You know what I'm saying? So, bada bing, bada boom. It was a pretty good segment. I'm not sure if I want to see Nikki Bella and Bayley, but it looks like that's going to happen. Excuse me. Nikki Bella and Becky. A lot of B's. But it seemed like it's going to happen. I think Nikki can still go. I would much rather see Lyra in that situation, but it looks like it might be Lyra and Bayley in a couple grudge matches, and we'll see what happens. So again, also another backstage segment. Dominic was coming in Judgment Day at the beginning. He's sitting there. He won his title. They talking shit. Then he runs into Dragon Lee and his homies, and they talking shit. And Dragon Lee like, bro, run that fade tonight if you this, that, and the other. And then Dominic, and they kind of, what you call it, JD and Fans kind of look at him like, what you gonna do? So, Dominic on the spot, he said, all right, man, fuck it. Run it. I see you tonight. AJ Styles come up and just say, hey, bro, that was smooth. You got me last night. That's cool. I ain't gonna talk shit, but just know I'm coming for that belt regardless. Boom. Still keep it up there. So they start their match. Decent match. The crowd really didn't wake up until the end. It was really quiet. But then all of a sudden, it was like three El Grande Americanos come out. I knew one was, I knew two of the motherfuckers in there, but another motherfucker jumped up. I don't know who he was. And then, they about to put the beat down on Dragon Lee because, all the distractions, Dominic's retained, wins. And then they about to put the beat down on him, but AJ Styles come out to help. Bop, bop, bop. Similar shit. Dominic is really got heel heat, but it's like they have to me, kind of let him wrestle. Let him, turn up. When he had the match with Penta, he turned up. I know he got the lying, cheating, stealing, but it's like, come on, dude. Dragon Lee, do some cheat shit and just go ahead and beat him and, and let's go home. So then we have the main event. You have Seth Rollins versus LA Knight, for the World Heavyweight Championship. Decent match. Good match. These guys got great chemistry. They were going at each other. So the fight spilled out to the ring. Rollins looked like he was for the curb stomp LA Knight head into oblivion. Then, of course, Mr. Punker comes in, blocks a move, end up getting getting Rollins disqualified. They're fighting about it. LA Knight gets mad. He's like, bro, what the fuck? You just cost me the belt. Punk kind of just brushes them aside. They're fighting, but now with the disqualification, it unlocks Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. They storm the ring. They're putting a beat down on both of the guys, on Punk and Knight. Then Rollins looking like, hey, I got this, I'm the man. Then Roman Reigns comes. He put up a good fight, but then he got overwhelmed. They put the beat down on him. He took 1,000 tsunamis and lost his kicks again. I mean, man, this motherfucker losing Jordans like he back on the CTA. But damn, so again, Raw closes with the Vision standing tall, looking absolutely, powerful. So I served Raw as a hard reset. A hard reset. That's just how I look at it. They realized the first 6 months of the year they botched it. They botched it completely. And they just had to get to SummerSlam. So SummerSlam was a bookmark of the horrendous booking. And going forward, I believe, is going to be where the meat and potatoes start getting on the bone. So here's a couple things I see coming on down the line. We have Sheamus and Rusev. Their ongoing feud is literally spilling into backstages and spilling into other people's shit. Sami Zayn got caught in the shit, so now it sets up an angle with that. That's going to be interesting. We have Becky versus Nikki. This is going to be interesting. So after that, Natalya come up and say, man, what the fuck are the cheap shot? So Natty was like, I'm going to teach you some lessons. And then Becky's like, yeah, but not you. I want Max Dupree. So it's going to be Max Dupree versus Becky next week. So you have a feeling what's going to happen. That Nikki might come out and cost her a win, which would be cool. It's going to be non-title, of course, but that's good. It gives Max Dupree something to do. We get to see some of the characters in him, what we need to do. The Dominic angle is interesting. You got AJ Styles stocking for that IC championship. And then we have these multiple fucking imposters running all over the place. And then you also have the AAA. He talking shit down there. And let's not forget about Finn Balor. Still feel a certain type of way for Dominic pinning him. Got to keep that in the back of your mind. And then you have now Rollins, Reigns, Punk, dynamic again. The classic three-way from WrestleMania is coming back. And now you insert LA Knight. This can carry on all the way to SummerSlam. I can already see it can be the Vision, which will consist of So far, we have Seth, Bronson and Breaker, and then on the other side you will have Punker, Roman, and LA Knight. So remember, he said he had a plan B, so it got to be one more person to join. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's still going to be a 4-man group eventually once it fills out, but we'll see. But they're telling great stories again, and I hope that they stand out. Like I mentioned, there were strong mid-card matches here. Like I said, standouts was Penta, Perez, Grayson Waller. The tag team champs was great. They're setting storytelling between Lynch, Valkyria, Sheamus. These are epic feuds that are happening. The Nikki Bella, whether I like it or not, is good. And then you got the whole Dominic thing where he has enemies coming at all angles, and the biggest enemy is right next to him in Finn Balor, which they had us forget, but I didn't. And like you said, you got Division, Seth Rollins group just causing chaos. Raw delivered stronger than the 2 days off the weekend of SummerSlam. So that's how I looked at this, as an extremely hard reset. And I'm very interested to see where things go. But this is just my recap of the night 2 and the Raw. I just want to condense it all in one. I know it's kind of long, but I will chop it up in bites if you just want to hear certain segments of it. Cool. But like I said, this is DJ from the DJ's Corner signing off. Ruby will be back later on this week. She got some cool stuff we're working, and we're working on a lot of cool projects. You know what I'm saying? We're taking our time with a lot of stuff, and it's going to be amazing. So, man, I'll definitely see you in the next one. I hope you guys have a great, great evening, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.